been able to locate the artist. The families, there's a reward out there. They're asking for information, and we're hearing all sorts of things swirling around, things that we do not want to repeat on this very platform because of just how the information is, and then just the sensitivity with regards to her disappearance.
And one of the things that we have to be careful about now is the dissemination of information because of so many avenues the information can be sent out. And a lot of times when we get information, we have to be very careful of the source that we get the information. You get some information from a website named gossip.com. I don't think you should take
not even a website. A random will turn on their live, right, and they're disseminating what they deem to be accurate information, which is why traditional media isn't going anywhere, because this is where you get accurate and factual information.
And a lot of that information that is going along other platforms needs the validation of conventional media. So
yes.
We ain't going nowhere. All right. One of the things also, Bling Dog shares weight loss journey. And if anybody who know Bling Dog, a.k.a. Ricky Rudy, a.k.a. Dog, that man was not a slim fellow. Create the best version of you, physically, spiritually, and mentally. Those are the words from dancehall artist Bling Dog as he shared his weight loss journey with his fans. So, in a recent Instagram reel, Bling Dog shared contrasting images depicting his weight loss. And we know that the weight loss journey with him, the post consists of images of clips of the DJ being heavier over the years, ending with images of his current transformed physique. As a caption, DJ wrote, "I'm your motivation, my journey, elevate yourself, no shame in my past, consistency, bring results." I think Bling Dog probably lost over 100 or 100+ pounds.
Look here, truer words have never been spoken. Consistency brings results. And, he shows us that, he's dedicated and he's committed to a healthy lifestyle as opposed to just doing it for the motion, moment, or for something is coming. Because a lot of people do that. It's a new year, it's a resolution. You start out in the gym and then, you stop going. But when you make it a lifestyle, it becomes a part of, your everyday activity.
I quote the words of legendary actor Denzel Washington. Motivation gets you started, but without consistency, you'll never finish.
And
simple.
Those are true words.
So you get somebody gas you up a little bit and you say, I'm going to go to the gym. But if you're not consistent there, you'll never finish.
It's a commitment. And I think at some point we all suffer from it. I have started and stopped and, it happens. But when you make it a lifestyle and you become committed and you're determined to do it every day, then it becomes easier over time. Now, also in our hot topics zone, of course, music's biggest night is fast approaching, and entertainers locally and internationally have a mere 2 days to make their Grammy submissions.
Right.
This year's eligibility period closes 2 days earlier than usual, running from October 1, 2022 through to September 15, 2023. As you can recall, in June this year, the Recording Academy, which is the organization behind the Grammy Awards, announced that only humans, not AI, can nominate their work for an award, citing that an artist can use AI in their songs and submit them for consideration for an award, but there must be proof that a real person meaningfully contributed to the song as well. Your thoughts on that?
I agree with that. Absolutely agree on that. Because if you're going to have AI dominating or submitting, then it's not somebody real. So you need to have that, fusion. As you say, AI can contribute. As a matter of fact, one of the things I think that they need to do is limit how much AI can contribute. Percentage-wise, maybe a verse, maybe written, but they have to put some parameters on how AI will be involved. That's just my particular thought.
And who knows, maybe after doing it for a while, they'll come to the realization that that is a measure they have to put in place because they didn't stipulate exactly in terms of percentage.
Exactly. So I think that is something that they need to look in. AI is great, but then you don't want it taking away the true essence of what we do, the human creativity, the human talent. It it is just an aid, and this is what we need to do: box it in as an aid. It cannot take over. When you hear them talking about AI doing this and AI doing that, yeah, AI is great, but people will be here. You need to make sure that they are able to contribute and be a dominant contributor to whatever it is, be it music, be it technology, be it arts, crafts, whatever they have AI.
Food and beverage. Have you seen across social media where there is this restaurant, I think it's in Japan, where it is run by AI.
Yep.
So you enter the restaurant, you're seated by AI. A robot literally comes in, take your order, brings out your food, and they will even sing and perform for you. I mean, it was just like, oh my goodness. So already persons are losing their jobs.
Until one fuse blow and one relay mash up, AI dead.
The person who shared the video did say the robot that he got, a fuse was blown in.
I rest my case.
In the process, his robot glitched out before his meal was finished.
I mean, we understand and certain things with AI, it streamlines. I mean, there's certain, you know where you are. There are a lot of places you go and you self-check yourself into a supermarket, buy what you want. There is no cashier there, and you're out the building. It's in a
You
lot
scan your items and, you
and
exit.
you're out. You're doing it, you say do it yourself. And that's a form of AI too, because that technology allows you to do that, where you can go in.
And in truth, a lot of homes also, you have your Alexa, you have your Siri, you have been using the AI technology, even your smartphones that you go around with on a daily basis. So that is an introduction there. So, it's not like we are not using it already. And then you have the chat GPT and all these things.
It's just that AI has been taking it to another level now, where more and more industries or facets of society are now depending on it in terms of making things more streamlined. But I just believe AI is well and it is all good, but there has to be a balance.
Just like with everything else.
Balance has to happen. So we hope that the people who, or the powers that be, will take these things into consideration and make sure that there's always a balance. Very important, because two tools, everybody unemployed and nobody know what because AI take over. No, that's how it will go.
Absolutely.
That's how it will go. So what else will be popping on now? We got our new artists. We have so many things. We got Ginjah. We got our discussion. I don't know, boy.
I think we're gonna kick things off
with the discussion.
How do you want to start with the discussion? I think that's a very fitting way to start. And the conversation, the topic that we're talking about tonight, the side we don't get to see, the pressure, the struggle, or to remain or maintain relevance in the dancehall space or music industry.
Sort of like AI, in terms of things are evolving so quickly. Even the way that we do music back in the day and now how we do music now. Back in the day, it was live bands. It was DAT tape, which is digital audio tape, or reel to reel. Some of the things that we used to have. Now, and of course, a studio would be a big studio with a lot of live bands. That's pretty much not there anymore. Things have streamlined. So the evolution that happens in music, how do they stay relevant? The sound is changing, the style is changing. How the artists who are from yesteryear, and even the young youth them know, because it will evolve on them also if they're not careful.
It will, and we have seen it from rock steady ska, reggae coming down to where we are now, and we see the evolution through the music. In addition to that, there is also this notion in Jamaica like, who hot now? And does it make sense if you're just hot locally, but you're not expanding your brand internationally? And what of somebody who is not considered relevant locally, but they are touring consistently, expanding their fan base internationally, but then locally people don't consider you to be relevant? How important is that?
All right, we're going to go to Ginjah's song called Turn Up. And well, that's what my producer is telling me. And then we're going to delve more into this discussion. It's going to be very interesting. So, Ginjah and the tune named Turn Up.
Hey baby, love is coming at you. So please, don't close the door on me. Oh no. Baby, I love you. I really love you. Baby, I love you. Baby, you think turn up on your feet, so right. You think turn up on your clothes, so tight. Baby, you think turn up on your feet, so right. You think turn up on your clothes, so tight. Yeah. You put the love on me, you want go lock me for life. You know I sing no more, you have to be my wife. I have to say a word of prayer, this I love tonight. Yeah. Bless this woman, oh Lord, we don't need no strife. Baby, you think turn up on your feet, so right. You think turn up on your clothes, so tight. Baby, you think turn up on your feet, so right. You think turn up on your clothes, so tight.
All right, so that's Ginjah's big tune, Turn Up. The side we don't get to see, the pressure/struggle to remain and maintain relevance in the dancehall space or in the music industry. Very happy to have Ginjah and Pamputtae.
Pamputtae,
Yeah, man.
And before we get to the discussion, we have an important PSA. The Bogwalk Gorge has now been reopened following its closure for processing of a crime scene. So that is, the Bogwalk Gorge has now been reopened following its closure for the processing of a crime scene.
All right, boy, I'm gonna tell you, it's pretty rough down here. Ginjah did it, Pamputtae. Hey, look, hey, Ginjah, before we even get into this whole discussion, my brother Ginjah.
Looks like the conversation tonight should have been image.
Wagwan,
Ginjah, how you get the name Ginjah?
greetings.
How you get the name?
You know, sir, well, the pleasant good night to you all. I got that name from Mr. Berry Salmon himself.
I know, you still don't go on right and tell me, and I say, no, I have to ask you when we see you.
Yeah, man, a serious thing.
And
I'm
why
always
call
a
you-
guinea and right left for center in a boat.
How him name you Ginjah?
All right, the first time I went up there,
Yes.
Miss Ann came out and said, what do you guys need to drink?
Oh.
Seeing I was a young man and I want to make a good impression, I said, could I have a ginger beer?
Oh.
And everybody stopped what they were doing. Josie Wales, everybody stopped what they were doing. I'm going to say, how would I use them, man?
Ginger beer.
So and you just say, all right, a Ginjah your name after that?
Yes, so when the time come now for him to hear me out, so him say, yo, come down ginger beer. And so everybody now start calling me ginger beer. But Soulja, while Soulja was mixing the first song, may soul rest in peace.
Yes.
Soulja said, yo, ginger, we are going to slew the beer with a spear.
Ah. So I just Ginjah. Boy, very so
Yeah.
easy, you know. Him name
It
everybody, you
works.
know.
Yeah, well, I chew with that.
Yeah, man. Big up, big up.
All
big.
right. So,
Big up the boss.
Like Bones mentioned, welcome Pamputtae in
Hi,
your
Pamput-
green tonight.
Hi.
How
Pamputtae.
are you?
I saw girl feel look good. I saw girl
Oh, no.
feel look good.
Right? No, let's just jump right into the conversation. We
Yes.
know that in the industry it's kind of difficult, out of sight, out of mind. Pam, as a mom, Ginjah, like you're both touring, doing things. How do you maintain, or first of all, is it important to you to maintain relevance in the dancehall space?
Yes, it's important. It's important, but on the other side, you have to know, say you have a life too, and you have to know, say, and everything where you see out there, you have to pay attention to and follow. You still have to have, your self-belief too, because sometimes, sometime the style, the fashion, and the everything where you see, sometimes it not really last, so you don't have to run it down. But at the next hand, you have to always, try to do something, put in your work, same way, because this is what put food for your table. And you don't know you're a musician and all of that. So you still have to still work same way. But sometimes you can't make everything what you see. Because everything glitter gold. It'll come like then, you'll see the style that come in because a tall year I wear, so Pamputtae happy in a tall year, or a nobody I wear, happy in it to keep relevant. Me is not like that. And every style me go in, but me go constantly do work, put in the work, and do the right thing when it comes to my career. But on everything out there, when a style, me really follow up and run down. Because even with social media, I use my social media platform for the good things. Because anything we most of the time we put up in the atmosphere, it again. Because if you plant corn, a corn you reap. You're not going to reap peace. So I try to use my platform for the positiveness and the goodness.
Your thoughts on that, Ginjah?
What is it?
Your thoughts?
We're hearing you, Ginjah.
Yeah, Pamputtae, bless up yourself. You don't know. Yeah, man, for real. But me now, I said they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. See? They want to put wings like eagle. They shall run and not weary. They shall walk and not faint. So, you see, it is important for me to stay relevant, knowing that there's a big space for the message right now, the music we're talking about musically. And so, I've always tried to stay relevant by making music that is really friendly. I might think that. Because you want to stay there. Because you don't know the least little thing you do, you drop off in. And knowing that I never get that run, so while I'm getting this run now, I saturate the market. You know what I mean? In terms of certain things, I try to stay away from the mix-up, the name calling, and people know that. And now it's Ginjah, the reggae soul man, so I have to live by that. You see me as a Pamputtae? Yeah, man.
All right, I got a question.
You live by the
We never lost away, we never turn fool and reach at the crossroad.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question for both Ginjah and Pamputtae. We're talking about relevance in the music. The music has evolved. We can't deny that. And some of the material that is being disseminated into the space in whatever platform it is. Ginjah, you say you're doing positive music. Pamputtae, you say you use the social media and whatever you're doing to do good and you're not following certain things. Some of the things that is out there right now, let us just say that some of them are not positive. Some of them are controversial. You walk on that line of being almost, almost slack, or some of it is slack. But that seems to be what the market seems to be gravitating to rather. How do you, as you just said, you're going to stick into your lane. But that seems to be the area where everybody is right now in terms of just the new people, the new folks who are out there in the space right now. Are you trying to compete with that, or you are trying to just balance yourselves? Because that space right now seems to be getting a lot of attention. The young youth, them and all the stuff.
Listen, music is a mission, it's not a competition.
They seem to think so. They seem to think it's a competition.
And me not really have only person I compete with is myself to be a better person.
Yes.
So me not really compete with nobody. I'm going to the studio right now and the vibe that something about gospel or something about this or that time, a big tour, my ear. Depends on how come it's an entertainer. Me a musician. Me never can tell what come to my head. Whatever. You understand? Sometimes I can say, me a hardcore dancer. Or me a go a positive vibe. I feel of energy upon the rhythm. Because every rhythm give you different feelings.
So what is trending out there? You don't try to follow that. You do your own thing.
Not really, yeah. Me not really like follow it. But just do what me do. Just like how I tell you, even my TikTok them, my TikToker. Right now come like Pamputtae own TikTok.
You own it?
Yeah, like say
Period.
oh, it got to where if we go on 10 people status, all 3, 4 of my video them dip on them status.
I love
And
that. I
a
love that.
positive thing. Positive thing.
But do you think the notion that who hot and who run the place has distracted
Enough time to say that to
entertainers
man to me, man.
from
Remember,
like
say me get
the
it to you
big
know.
picture?
When them say, oh, all right then. For instance, say somebody a keep an event. And somebody said to them, say, yo, we can get Pamputtae if you do ads in. And the person say, oh, I don't want Pamputtae because she not hot. Them have them look style, you know. But at the end of the day, enough people me see hot when them go up on stage, them not hot. Them can't perform and them have the big song.
True. And what you know, you see, I'm out here because I'm in California, see?
Right.
And I want to say this. This is a message to us as Jamaicans. Most of the shows them that keeping out there, Jamaicans are not on there. So I want to big up the Marley brothers. It's only when them keep shows out there, you see a lot of Jamaican reggae artists. So something I go on enough here go on. This thing I need to fix
Nobody can
immediately.
travel there to neither.
So it doesn't matter who say them hot. It's just the elder them are run things same way. Them have to know that the Berry Salmon, the Burning Spear, the Caperton, the Anthony B is them we see out here now.
Exactly. And as you mentioned, Anthony B. Ginjah, that's why it brings me back to the point. Does it matter to be relevant locally? Because when you think about Anthony B, he's touring extensively, broadening his fan base internationally, but he may not have like the hottest song in Jamaica right now, but he is literally running the world. So if you are touring consistently, if you're broadening your fan base internationally, does it matter if you are relevant locally?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now because how the space set and how things set up now, you know, because most of who running things now on the shows, them not have no song to play a yard. And we out here and we see everything we go on. See? So we are say right now we need the youth them to make some music where we know say them can get some bookings out the side. There's a lot of musicians in Jamaica right now. I think maybe 75% of our musicians that play instrument, them have to sit down at them yard if them not get a little thing to do like some little studio gig. Them not get nothing to do. That's bad. This is reggae music, you know. This is a serious music. And so it seems like said, nobody not take it away. It's like we give it away. Nobody take it away from us. It's like we just say, yo, yeah, me. I want to take this young man. Nobody not take it. You see me? I say,
one of the things I also want to make mention of Ginjah and Pamputtae is this. We want the young youths who are down here making waves in the music to abstain from criminality and doing things that will affect their immigration status so that they can come to perform. You see those shows that you're talking about in California?
Yes,
I
King.
want some of them youth to come up there and perform, but them can't travel because
social responsibility bones. And so
yeah.
there's a thing named...
Oh, wow. Are you seeing Ginjah and Pamputtae?
Man, black right. No, I'm seeing Pamputtae, but I'm not seeing Ginjah. You there, Ginjah?
No, I'm not seeing Ginjah.
So I wanted to answer that particular thing in terms of we just wanted the youths them to make sure that their immigration status, that they don't do anything stupid to mess up them being able to get a work permit or some sort of travel document to head over, because sometimes these are the things why a lot of them are not seen on international stages, and that is where they sometimes need to be. So
and something to strengthen your point too, Bones. When you think about the entertainers who can travel, like you're saying, you want them to do the right thing so they can travel freely, but then they also have to perfect their craft, like Pamputtae mentioned earlier. Like a lot of them who are hot and running the place, when them get the space now to take it and run with it, they're not able to perform to their fullest. They're not able to replicate what people hear on wax. They're not able to do that when they go live.
Absolutely right. That did strengthen the point. And so these are some of the things, because relevance also depends on how you flow with the market. And a lot of times being able to access certain platforms, being stages worldwide, You need to be able to be there. Yes, social media helps a lot because you'll be able to put out your information and make people know what you're doing. But sometimes you need to be at the actual venue and then stream it to let people see where you are. So we
But Pamputtae, your point, your take on this. I think somebody called Pablo just texting to say you have to bust a yard before you can go abroad, and that is so true. Which is why a lot of
most of the time still it work a yard first before. Cause you know, I saw me boss. My song good travel the whole world before me start travel. You understand? And music not live on nobody yard. Just remember that you will flop today and hot tomorrow. And you have to just keep going, persistent, believe in yourself and have faith and always put in the work.
Yeah. But just like a child, I'm back again. So Bones, I was talking about social responsibility.
Welcome back, my boss.
Yes, continue.
So social responsibility is a very important thing for us to show as artists, as public figures.
Right.
Because social beauty, you can, if you're not showing social beauty, you damage brand, you damage culture, and all these things. So that's why I always stay in my lane and try to be respectful as a singer-songwriter, because you can damage brand and also posterity. And so when you damage that, we in a place where it seems like we can't figure out like darkness. So social responsibility is a very significant thing, and not because you're rich or famous, it doesn't give you the right to demoralize the people or yourself.
So true.
Message to the world.
And that is such. Look here.
Well said.
That kudos to you for saying that, Ginjah, because a lot of times, a lot of entertainers will shy away from it to say music is merely art, and shy away from taking the responsibility to say that, look, as an entertainer, as a public figure, you have a social responsibility. So we see that from time to time. So it's important that an entertainer is underscoring the importance of that. But Pamputtae and Ginjah, how challenging is it to shut out the noise and stay focused on your path to what it is you want to accomplish? For example, you know, you hear the talks, boy, you know, hot, or somebody in a hot, you know, relevant right now, but you are seeing the bigger picture. You know what your aim is. Is it difficult to shut that out, given the space and what it is?
For me, it's not difficult, because I'm always in my lane and I always stay isolated and put in the work. And so, like, when Father Tads reach out to me, he couldn't even get to me, I forget the GT. Or maybe I have to get the Bones and say, yo, because I'm not out there like that in the space creating any problem or trying to look any eye. And so this is how I stay relevant in what I'm doing. And even though I'm not there on the ground, I know everything what I go on in the Bones. Every move I'm making.
You're the soul man, you have to know.
So you have your ways to stay connected while not physically being in the space. But how is it for you though, Pamputtae, because you are on the ground?
Honestly, it's not really hard. You know, one thing me focus, you know, as well, Ginjah sings, I never last minute. I'm a woman of God, you know. You understand? I mean, I listen to the bag of noise and the bag of excitement. Because you see that exalted itself shall be a base. And you see that humble itself. You know the rest. So, me a woman, I stay in my lane still and do my own thing. As you can see. I'm always put in the work. I work when I'm hungry, I work when I'm sad, I work when my belly full, I work when I'm happy, I work when I'm mad. I just work. I don't watch no face. Can I take that one person for believing in you and it's me?
Believe.
So
you know much time I down and feel down and all of that, and somebody call me, I'm still motivate them and I lift them up same way.
Well, I'm getting this from both of you, meaning that you see what is happening in the market and you know where your stance is to remain relevant, and you know how to navigate and to circumvent to make sure that your message and whatever you're doing is out there and it is strong and it is there in the public space.
Yes.
Which is very important.
I don't go to when I look on a song like Ride It, when we do over 15 years now.
Yes.
Funny, that song there right now, it a mash up TikTok and a mash up the place. All of the young youth, them will come up, them and say, you know a new artist, the Pamputtae, you hear a new song that we should sing. But them don't know it's a long time song. To them it new.
And that's great.
And that's just one thing we do. We just turn on the phone, play the rhythm, and just freestyle. And everybody just run with it.
Do you realize one thing though, Pamputtae and Ginjah, is that music is becoming such a cycle. We have the music, but they're sampling, they're regurgitating some of the older rhythms from back in the day. And that is also making these old school retro songs relevant as the market is now. Look at all these parties. If you notice, a lot of the parties that are being held right now are retro party, them, you know, and they are getting the biggest support.
And them party, they're nice. Old school. So I want to touch on the next point on radio. Sure. And it's not because I'm on radio now. You know, many of these youth, them are saying radio dead, but radio can't dead. It only can evolve. And if you want to be a household name artist, you have to be playing on the radio.
True.
Radio is not a normal medium, because if there should be a big storm now, internet gone, this gone, that gone, you better lock into your radio and get some battery.
But
someone you can take the feeding.
Ginjah, you don't even have to wait for a big storm, because here what now? You go viral on TikTok today and everybody's talking about you're the newest sensation. And after 3 days, if you cannot keep that momentum,
you're dead.
All right.
So look, you have all these, because people say to you, you have these streaming platforms now, so they don't need radio, and they're not thinking that in addition to radio, you can use these additional platforms to propel your brand, not to exclude, you know, but maximize everything that you have.
And just to complement or to strengthen the argument that you just said, Kishima, the platforms is a part of evolution. Although radio is the basis, radio is also validity. It is a valid source of information. As I say, somebody can put up something on social media right now. Do you trust that source? Who is it coming from?
Yes.
A whole time them kill whole part with artists them on social media say this man dead and not no go so. You need to get it from a strong source. But don't think that radio has not evolved also, because radio, just like how we're streaming to you now, we are using the streaming platform. So it's a complement. We stream because that's the only way that is how we keep relevant also. But we don't lose the fact of our validity and how important we are in terms of important information that you can trust. Social media is great, but you can't trust it all the time.
And you cannot hold anyone accountable over there.
Because there's no governing body.
You cannot come on the radio and disrespect anybody. They're going to say, Bones, leave. Kashima, you got to leave.
Or they're going to say the broadcast commission going to write you all the time and say you breach a contract. Exactly.
Yes.
And social media really and truly different, because you have some people behind it, you don't even know who. Sometimes it can be on your own.
You can't go do anything over there, Pamputtae, you can't go disrespect anybody.
And some people disrespect you, not even know who. Sometimes some people are around you want to tell you some things a long time, but you social media, they can't do it.
So both platforms are important. Radio has evolved where most radio stations are now streaming, but we are valid. The information is valid. You can count on us. And the other platforms are very important, but you have to also understand that sometimes you cannot trust the sources. So you need to be able to know that what information is being disseminated to you, you have to be able to trust it.
So why I say that that's the way to stay relevant, by making songs that can play on the radio.
Very important.
Because many artists say, yo, we don't make songs for radio. They can't tell me that. I make my songs for the radio.
And that's why you have like a lot of underground artists, dancehall artists in particular, who they could be much further than where they are now, but they just repeatedly do the gritty stuff no consideration for radio and their songs are not being played on the radio. Yes, your songs break in the dances, but you're also limiting yourself. You're not maximizing on all the avenues and taking advantage of it. And that is something that we have seen no more than ever, where songs are not necessarily being made for radio. You play your raw song and then you create a raw song and you wonder why, radio not endorsing it, but who is going to sit and edit it? Sometimes if you edit it, you will be left with a song that has 100% bleeps, deeps, and edits.
I've heard a song so edited, it became an instrumental.
So, Bones, Yashima, I just want to say to many artists, don't say that, social media boss me, no need radio. Because social media is a fast-paced moving thing. It's like a lightning speed.
Yes, it is important.
So people will forget you. The next second, people just forget boy. They don't remember say, a social media did boss you. Done. But when you are in radio, the greatest artists them from Jamaica, our musician, reggae musician, them are the radio. At the radio.
Radio gives you enough time to soak. The other platforms, yes, your music or whatever information you want to disseminate gets out there very quickly, but it dies just as fast. And that is the thing that people need to understand. So we complement each other because radio is now evolved because a lot of the radio stations are also streaming. They have streaming platforms. But as I say, the validity of the information that's being disseminated, you have to believe. And
I want to say this because we're out here and we're doing some research now.
Yeah.
To get on most of them charts there now, you have to go back to the radio because they're saying that people can buy views on Spotify and all these things.
And they're not real views.
The thing change up. It gone back to radio now. So we have to give the youth them information, so them know what's going on.
No, absolutely. Because a lot of them, Ginjah, will say to you that numbers don't lie. But what you're telling us based on your research is that numbers can be manipulated. So numbers do lie.
Exactly.
Yes. So it's gone back now. There's an article on that. So one check it out. So
as I say, and I will always say, radio is the valid source of information. A lot of times when you play and you want to trust the source where the information comes from, you still have to come back to the source. Yes, the source is now on the platforms where you can get the information and the music very quickly, but you have to trust the source that you're getting it from, and that is still why radio and TV, free to air, will always be valid.
And as Cause, one of our listeners just wrote, he says that songwriters are suffering and radio is their only source of, well, not only, but is a source of income for songwriters.
Which will be their public.
That is true, and I want to pick up that person because when we look on the little royalty check them, radio must see on them, see not certain things on them, Now this is not YouTube, not TV. See?
Understand that.
Royalty comes from radio. That's why we there for stay.
One of the things, Ginjah and Pamputtae, that we also need to disseminate to artists is that when they hear us play a song on the radio, we have to send that song to Jams and Jaria or what are those? JCap, so that you can get your royalties. And that is something that we have to do religiously. Daily. So every shift. As it done, that have to email out.
Some of the artists, them nowadays, when them, I think them are follow up not about a royalty. Everybody must run down more hot.
and as we're about to put a cap on the conversation, because we see how the time going, Pamputtae, Ginjah, what advice would you give to, because not only younger artists think like that, they still have some elders in the business who believe say, hotness, and that's the way to go. What would you say to persons who believe that if you're not hot, then you're not relevant?
That's the wrong thinking. And that's the wrong way to go about the music itself, because honestly, I don't think me hot. And I get me things and I do my little things and I'm getting there, I'm getting hot. I will. But I'm doing my shows, you know what I mean? I'm doing my little stuff to put food on the table, So we give thanks to that.
Honestly, me give thanks for every bit of it, whether hot or cold or soft or lukewarm. The greatest thing, me always I represent for my culture, always I represent for Jamaica, no matter where I go. You understand? I'm putting the work and do the right thing. Because once you do the right thing, you can't go wrong. Not your whole life, make it seems and make it seems. Once you do the right thing, you can't go wrong. At that time will tell.
Longevity.
But we can't have Pamputtae and Ginjah and make them leave without telling us what they're currently working on. New music that you're promoting. Tell us about it before you leave us.
Ginjah work on too much things. That's a film problem.
I've so much music. But it's just the things set more time, Bones. Remember, that by myself, I just make music. So we have a new single with Tad's Records.
Yes.
Tad's Records showing me a whole lot of support.
Always.
And that Jacqueline dropped November the 3rd, but the single out now. And my album dropping October the 6th. And the new single, Music Is Mine, which is a powerful song.
Yes.
Because I am saying that no one can push me out of the music. The guns are not mine.
Right.
The drugs game is not mine. None of those things are mine. But the music is mine. And we have some shows. We have a mini North California tour coming up. And so we're going to Detroit and Texas. So some little thing I build up. We give thanks to that.
But that's why everybody can support Pamputtae music. Me have a couple new singles out. Boss and Me and a couple more. Grateful. And it's not only, raunchy music Pamputtae sing. Right now, I change up the thing. So if you want a Rasta Pamputtae, I'll be here right now.
But they hear no much the Rasta Pamputtae though.
That's why I'm support Pamputtae music on all digital platform. Follow Pamputtae, Pamputtae, Pamputtae. Yeah, later on, I'm going to Canada when I come back to England. So, it go.
Nice.
Pamputtae make the money. Me say me have one video with you. I got long body right in the studio here. Me go send it to you. Both you are Rasta. Easy.
Leave her alone.
Hey, Ginjah. I had to go back and quote you, sir. Say, me I talked to one lady one time, and she had gone like she had Ginjah. And me just remember your song.
Sweet Killer.
Sweet Killer.
No,
Remember that song?
Love
Sweet Killer. Mama underneath her smile, child. Mama underneath her smile right now, Sweet Killer. Can't put back a red pan Rasta man pillar.
You remember, youth? A pure fire burning in the youth.
Sing about it.
Big up all of the Chinal girl them. Big up on
yourself. And shelter.
Yes. So,
right. love this conversation. Pamputtae, Ginjah, thank you so much.
Pamputtae, you look good,
send
girl.
the new songs to
Man, it's a pleasure.
Thank
I
you.
have enough respect. Big up Soul Nation, because you don't know. Ginjah the Reggae Soul Man, Soul Nation, them up. That's the thing they now. Ginjah the Reggae Soul Man, Instagram. Ginjah the Reggae Soul Man, Twitter. Ginjah the Reggae Soul Man all over the place.
What about you, Pamputtae? What's your social media handles?
Pamputtae. Any more Pamputtae are bogus. Mine different, are unique. Pamputtae.
Big up. Ginjah, once again, big up. Pamputtae, big up.
Yeah, man, do give thanks to life and love. Blessed is the one that walk it not to the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand it to the way of sinners, not to see it of a scornful. Love life every time.
And big up Tad's Records every time.
Yes, big up Tads.
Big up Uncle Tads every time.
After love. Yeah, man. Father Tads. The things that new album I come from Father Tads to. A 10 album I have to drop in.
Junior Tads to Kaimi Bex. Junior Tads, begin.
Junior Tads, big up yourself.
Yes.
We have 10 albums to drop. Yeah? 10.
All right. Ginjah, Pamputtae, love.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Big up yourself.
Enough love. All right, so if you're just joining us, it is the EBUZZ, and joining us on set in the studio now is our music artist. I hope I got this. Is it Zyanigh?
Zyanigh.
Zyanigh. Boy, Zyanigh, you move wickeder than the night head up. Boy, your company pretty bad. What they go on, sir?
Welcome, Zyanigh.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
All right. Tell us about your musical journey, Zyanigh. How did you get started in the music? Is this something that you wanted to do, or you buck your toe and drop in